Hello, if you want to buy a piano for Christmas, then it's best to buy now because we may have to do little bits of work to refine the piano before delivery, and obviously we need to organise delivery too. So I'm going to work from the up top to bottom. So this is our sort of top piano at the moment, and you can see it's a very beautiful Blutner grand piano, one we fully restored. So really can recommend the piano. They won't play much on the piano, just perhaps a little tinkle here and there. But mainly this is to say, please do come now if you're interested in a piano for Christmas. The prices are being lowered every week, so this is obviously our most expensive piano at the moment. Just come in, so the price is being lowered. But please make an offer if you're interested, because we're keen to sell pianos, obviously. But look how beautiful the veneer is on this piano. It's a really stunning instrument, made in 1910, and it's 6'2" long. This is a fully restored Steinway Model O grand piano, 5'10½", made in 1904, and there's a much longer video of this, so I won't go too long on this one. It's just been moved into this concert location. We sold the piano that was there. It's moved in 2 days ago, actually Thursday, so there's plenty of information on the other video, so just quick look at it really, and to say that really this concert location, it's ideal for it. Obviously a bigger piano would be more ideal in the sense it's a very big location, but if you've got a concert location and don't want a massively big piano, then I can really recommend this one. So now the piano's in this large church which is used for concerts, and we buy and sell pianos from this location a lot. I have an arrangement with the church for about 15 years at least, and of course in here it sounds really different from what it did in the showroom. You can hear the notes carry on for a long time, but it is an ideal piano for this location, except it perhaps could be longer. We've had much longer pianos in this location, but very suitable if you've got a church perhaps that you want a really good piano in, and you don't want a massively big piano, then I really recommend this one. Please do look at the other video if you want more information. Thank you very much for listening. This is our polishing room. We're polishing an upright Steinway at the moment. It's a Steinway that we've had in stock, and I think we really do need to repolish the piano because it was a sort of very faded light colour, and my colleague's making a tremendous job of this piano, so it's still being polished, and you see it's all in bits. There's the bottom panel, and we'll just quickly see the Steinway lid there with the fall on it. The music desk isn't there at all, so I had to have a bit of imagination to see what this piano will be like, but it's really superb. I love the look of these panels on the front too, that they're just put together. It's shinier than it will be when we finish it off, because we don't want it to be too reflective. This is a Steinway grand piano Model S, about 5'3" long, and again the price is going to be reduced, so please look at the stock list. This is a Steinway Model S, 5'3" long, made in 1936. There are other videos of all these pianos, or nearly all of them, especially the grand pianos. And let's have a quick look at the price of this. So that's probably lower already if you look at the stock list. So let's say we're bringing them down weekly until they're sold. Do make us an offer as well. So this is another Blutner grand, very similar piano actually. It's been restored by somebody else, very well restored. The price is a lot different from the one that we fully restored. As you can see, again, the price is being lowered every week, so please make an offer though if you're interested in the piano, and check the price list because you'll find, as I say, prices are always coming down, so keep your eye on the stock list. So this is a piano that's been restored elsewhere, and there is a fade line on the top. So we can fully repolish this piano obviously, but we're extremely busy with polishing, so we'd rather sell the piano for less. So if you're interested, please let us know. The Blutner Star 4, that's the piano that we're always trying to source, as you've seen many times, and it's a really high quality one, very mellow sounding this one is, and again look at the price and see the price on the stock list. Hello, this is a Blutner Star 4 baby grand piano that's 151 centimetres long, 5 foot long, made in 1933, and it's currently in the Roberts household. It was fully restored in 1999 and has been repolished in 2010 apparently, and the casework is pretty immaculate. My colleague the polisher has been going over it to see if there are any small defects, but really it is pristine. Apart from the fade line here, you can see a slight fade line where the lid's been kept down here. So that lid's been there, and it's obviously with the same colour there but slightly darker underneath. So if you do expose this to light, then that will tend to then the fade line will tend to disappear as the rest of it merges in. So the whole piano's been repolished beautifully, and you can see we call this flamed mahogany normally, and very typical of most Blüthner pianos, and most Blüthner baby grands have this style of cabinet work. The key tops have been replaced with really nice grain celluloid and feel excellent to play as well. You may have noticed that it's on this very short prop stick which was fitted when it was restored. That's a clever idea because the normal prop stick is rarely used in a domestic setting, but it's quite useful to have a short prop stick if you do want to increase the volume a little bit. The short prop is a metal bar, as you can see here, and this is the normal width of, I think, about 2 centimetres, normal width of prop stick, and it does fit in very well. I haven't seen this before, I don't think. Maybe if you're in the trade you've got some other ideas, but you can see it's pinned there, and it doesn't quite lie flat here. I think they could have possibly taken some more wood out here to make it lie flat, but it looks fine anyway. And it does fit in the same cup as the long prop stick. So you can see it's at a slight angle, but it fits in well. The restoration of the piano has been done extremely professionally by a company that's restored many Blüthner, so they're very used to doing it. The tuning pins are slightly larger because they restrung it without replacing the rest plank, but the tuning pins are extremely tight, so that's very encouraging. And you can see the new damper felt, new strings, reconditioned soundboard. Looking over here, you'll see the decor on the soundboard. This is the typical one put on by all firms, more or less all firms. Blüthner themselves put the same one on, which the last date is always 1929, as you can see here. And that's the prizes they got. Blüthner's such a high quality firm. They really were the best for small pianos. The action's been fully restored. You can see the new felts here, and at the back there you can see new felts as well. In fact, the checks there, if you look at the checks, they're new as well. And new rollers, that's really important. New rollers and hammers are the most important. Actually, they're recovered hammers. This is original wood, and the hammers are recovered. You can tell recovered hammers if you look carefully. You'll see here they don't quite look the same colour, don't quite look as absolutely clean as brand new hammers will be. Recovered hammers tend to be quieter, and in fact that's a feature on this piano, which I really enjoy the tone of the piano, so that for me is not a negative thing. But recovered hammers do tend to be less bright than replaced hammers. There's a serial number behind the action at the back of the piano, as you can see. That's very clear indeed, 117989. So from that we can date the piano at 1933. Something we'll always look at when hammers have been replaced on Blüthner grand pianos is the hammers at this point, because they get very close to the frame. If they're a bit thick, they can touch the frame. I don't know if you can see there, but that hammer's the iron frame there is very close. The hammer's hitting very close to it. Now they're clearing it here, and I have actually shaved a little bit off just in case as well, but with the block in place, which is important to put the block in place, and then you can see where they are. If I move the action forward very slightly, you'll see what happens. So if I just pull the action forward a couple of millimeters and we'll look at the hammer, then see what's happening. So going back to the hammer here, you can see that it's now touching the frame. And it's so common for us to find recovered hammers, and they're really close to the frame. That one, so that one's all right. And as they go up here, so if your piano's very soft at that point, you can obviously get it to sound if you hit it harder. But if it's very soft, you can't get it to sound. And that's a very common issue. That's why I thought I'd show it on this video. So as they were very close at this point, this top three here, I decided I'd just shave them off gently with this this sharp knife, and then with this here, the emery board, I think that's what you call it. These are for beauty treatment for feet, and just that's what I just finished it off there, trying to make it look as tidy as possible. So these three, they were very, very close, and we have had that problem before with pianos when we've bought them in and found that they are a bit close, or recovered the hammers and you need to shave some off here, or replacement hammers too. Of the many pianos we've assessed over the years, we've so often found that there's been moth damage under the keys particularly, so I just want to feature that to show you what can happen. And it just happened, this is my home and as boot a grand piano, which I'm very fond of, and on the wall just happened to have a clothes moth. So they lay eggs underneath the keys usually, and then you get extensive moth damage. They also can ruin the top of the piano, the felts on the top as well. I'm going to kill this one in a minute, so sorry about that, but not very nice killing any animals, but in terms of moths, they do tend to destroy pianos. We've been researching recently just ways of trapping moths and also preventing them coming in the first place and killing them, and this is a pheromone, I think that's the way you pronounce it, piece of paper with pheromone hormone, which is apparently what attracts the male moths. They think it's female, and a lot of places have this installed apparently. So we're just trying to find out as much as we can. If you've got good ideas to help us. Now that was I put that behind my piano in February, and you can just see what kind of a problem we have in our house. And I know that many households have the same problem. We were hoping to buy a piano recently and had one of these strips, and there were loads of moths on it again. So, and the piano was absolutely infested, so we couldn't really buy that piano. Well, we could have changed all the felts, obviously, but we decided that wasn't uneconomical in that particular case. That was installed in February. I installed this one a couple of weeks ago, and we've caught one moth on it already, so it's obviously an issue. This is spray that we've used. If you are familiar with what to use and you're more experienced than we are, then that would be wonderful to hear. I've used that spray on the felts underneath the keys on my piano, knowing that we have got an issue with moth in the house. If you're wondering if you've got an issue with moth in your piano, one first thing to look at is the felt behind the keys. Now, there's not much felt behind these keys, but if you can see gaps in it or little bits eaten out of it, then it might well be that you've got a moth problem. So you can either take this off and have a look underneath and see if that's eaten underneath as well. Ideally, if you take off the front rail here, you can undo the screws at the side here and pull these out and take this off. If you're confident to do that, and you'll see the felts under there, and that's what they destroy very, very often. So the moths lay their eggs and they hatch out into larvae, which then eat the felts, and they very often eat these felts too. You'll see that they've been nibbling. If you see kind of white flecks on these type of felts, then that's also an indication of moths. It's actually extremely common, even on modern pianos. We've found some modern pianos where we've had to replace all the felts underneath the keys, and so it's extremely common, and it's obviously something which we would prefer not to have to do. So if you can make sure that your piano's basically protected from moth in some way. If you have any experience of this, please do leave comments underneath this video, and we can all learn from that, because we're still learning, we're still researching, we're trying different products out. You can see there, as we inspected all the felt, there's no sign of moth in it, and obviously that's been replaced. Looking at the assessment sheet, there's very little for us to do. The key weighting's slightly varied. Slightly heavier in the bass and lighter in the treble, which is normal. I think if we lubricate the rollers, that will bring that down a bit, and then we may need to just bring it down, even it up a bit more. We want to have roughly 50 grams plus or minus 2 here, and then slightly heavier in the bass, lighter in the treble. That's what we're aiming for. So apart from that, fine regulation is all that we need to do on this piano. We've already pitch raised and tuned it, and it was already actually very much in tune, so there's very little to do. It's been kept extremely well and well restored not that long ago. In terms of pianos, that's not long at all. Once the restoration's been done, it's many, many years. It's been kept well, maybe another 50 years before anything else needs doing. Maybe fine regulation and so on needs doing in between. Depends how much has been played as well, obviously. So this is recovered hammers on this piano, so it has quite a soft tone. I'll try and show in a minute what the sound of the piano is. And if you're in a very small room, then that would be absolutely ideal. So it's certainly the softest piano we've had in this room. Our room's about 4 meters by 4 meters. So if your room is smaller than that, maybe 2 by 4 or something like that, it will be an ideal piano. A low ceiling, then to have the grand action is such a bonus really, and have the beautiful Bluthner tone. So that's a Bluthner Style 4 baby grand piano, 5 foot long, and one that we've done many videos of similar pianos. They're all vary slightly, this one being particularly soft. I've really enjoyed having it in my home. It's softer tone than normal. And if you've got a very small room, low ceiling, I can have a bigger piano in here really and it sounds fine, but it won't dominate too much if the room is very small, and you have the advantage of a beautiful action and of course a beautiful tone with the Bluthner piano. The bass is quite superb for the length of the piano. It's one of the best we've had. Very rich and warm. So I hope that's been helpful. If you're interested, please do write info@robertspianos.com. That's info@robertspianos.com. Thank you very much for listening. And this is the Bechstein Model B Grand, one of our favourite models really, and there's been lots of interest I've noticed on the video of this one. So if you're interested in the piano, please let us know. It's practically perfect outside. It's been restored, so really superb instrument. The staff like this piano a lot too. This is a Yamaha G3 grand piano, made in 1980, 6 foot 1 inches long. It's difficult for us to buy Yamaha grand pianos in at a price that we can then do the kind of work we like to do. As you can see, this one's had extensive work. Difficult to make enough profit, but so we try to obviously get as many as we can because they're very popular pianos. If you are interested, please do write to info@robertspianos.com. There's a longer video of this piano, so please take a look at that video, but I wanted to give you some idea of the sound of it in this video too. So we've refined it as much as we possibly can. So it's got a beautiful tone, as you can hear, and it's delightful touch as well. That's what we refine mostly, because the Yamahas, you tend to need working on the touch, things like lubrication and key weighting as well, so we can make them as much like a new piano as possible. This is the Yamaha G1 made in 1974, not very much used in its life really, and no fading at all on the cabinets. That's why I was interested to get this piano in, and I said before that to get non-black Yamahas is a real bonus, because nearly all of them are black, and a lot of clients do want top quality Yamahas which are not black, so this is an example of one. If you check the price, then you'll see that the price has been lowered on the stock list since this video was made. And this is a Richard Lipp Grand video of this too, and I've often mentioned that I've had Richard Lipp in my house most of my piano tuning and playing life, because I just love them so much. So it's a tremendous bargain this is, and again the price will be lower than that. Again, do make us an offer. If you want one by Christmas, now is the time to buy. Hello, this is a Richard Lipp Grand Piano, 175 centimetres long, so about 5'9" long. Just come into stock, and I have tuned the piano and done a bit of voicing and generally assessed it. Very impressed with the piano. I've had Richard Lipp Grand pianos in my house for most of my playing life, just particularly like them, and this size as well, so it's an excellent instrument. The casework is in good condition. It's very slightly faded here and there, as you can see. If we look at the top, that's where we always find the fading. A different colour slightly there, and you see this slight fading here too. So that obviously makes the piano less expensive. It's really a musician's instrument. We can certainly repolish the piano if you prefer. Has a typical leg style for this age of Lipp, which I think is unique to Lipps actually and distinguishes them from other pianos. Has 88 keys, and the key tops have been recovered, so they're not ivory. This is a typical logo for this age of Lipp too. The acoustic side of the piano is in excellent condition. I've tuned the piano and it has original pins. You can always tell with Lipp tuning pins, originals are much smaller, as a lot of good makes are. My standard lever here doesn't fit very well, but it's fine for tuning it. It's just that you can see that they are very small pins. The serial number on a lot of Lipp Grands goes missing completely, as they do on a lot of Bechsteins, and it fades away. I thought originally this was a 1, but actually you have another piano that's very similar age and another Lipp, and I'm pretty sure now that's a 4. The acoustic side's all original, and there's the original logo there, which has lots of the medals. They're really alongside Steinway, Bechstein and so on in terms of quality. The action's already well regulated, just needs a little bit of refining, and you can see it's had some new hammers at some stage which have hardly been used since then, so that's very encouraging. And here's the unique style of action on the Richard Lipp. If you look at how the spring works here, if I let it check and then release my finger a little bit to release the check, and you can see the spring's working perfectly, it causes it to go up. Just fine regulation on some of the springs. It's a spring on a loop. You just take it off the loop, bend the spring and put it back on. It's very simple. I've already fine-tuned it and done some voicing, and there's just 1 or 2 I've left here that I'd like to voice in a bit. This breakpoint normally needs voicing in, so those are just slightly bright. A very good breakpoint. You can hear very little difference in the tone of those two. Always the sign of a good maker that gets a good break point. As we said before, the sign of a good maker is that you can match the tone of this one with the tone of that one, although there's a different type of string going to a different part of the soundboard. And just have a listen again. And that's excellent. Such a beautiful tenor. So I'm very impressed with this Richard Lipp grand piano, as I usually am with Richard Lipp grand pianos. They've been kept well, but the touch here is extremely light. My first Richard Lipp also had a light touch, and if you want a light touch piano, or if you're used to early keyboards and like light touch, because they have much lighter touch than modern, then perhaps maybe 35 would be sensible, and then plus or minus 2 grams of 35, we could aim for that, certainly evening it out. So normally the touch, as we know, as I've said before, is around about 50 is the touch for middle C. So this is very light touch indeed, but you might like a light touch if you're an older person, for instance, and don't play very much, then that might be ideal for you. Let's just compare the tone. I've got a Blute in the Grand that's also just come in recently, so compare the two. So this is a Blute in the Grand 1936. It's 150 centimetres long, so quite a bit shorter. So that's a Richard Lipp grand piano, 175 centimetres long. That's about 5'9" long. I've had a similar piano in my home for most of my playing life. I've sold one Richard Lipp and bought another. Just very impressive make, really. There's many features on the piano as a technician that you really appreciate, and there's various things, for instance, silly things in a way, that the cheeks and the front all are dovetailed in so beautifully that when you lift it out, it always lifts out in one piece. That doesn't matter, I know, in a way, if you're buying a piano, but it really is wonderful for the technician. I just love the shape of these too. This is typical Richard Lipp shape, and the music desk is the original style as well. The touch, by the way, is very light. Now, you may enjoy a light touch, and certainly that will be less work for us not to have to refine the touch, which takes more than a day usually, where we just reweight the keys down to 50 grams. But there's absolutely no reason why you shouldn't have it like it is, and we can even it up at, say, 35 grams. We can do that with most pianos. Not all pianos we can do that with. If there's enough room in the keys, then we can reweight the piano. In this case, they'll be fine. Such a warm sound. If you're interested in the piano, please do write to us, info@robertspianos.com. Thank you for listening. this is Bechstein. We've repolished the piano. Really unbelievable value the pianos are at the moment. So I'm not just saying that, it's really true. Obviously try to buy them as cheaply as possible so that we can sell them as cheaply as possible. That's the general idea. So again, take a look at the price on the stock list. And the 48122, it's actually nearly new rather than new, but it's as good as new, if not better. We've refined pianos when they come in, even the new ones we refine. Again, if you look at the price list on that, compare with the new ones, and that may be lower when you look at the stock list as well. There's a Steingraber, absolutely wonderfully made instrument, really. Very interesting casework, and again, please look at the video of this piano too. And I'll try and put links. I don't know if I've got time to put all the links in this, but they're roughly in stock in price order anyway. Again, please do make us an offer. This is a Yamaha U3H made in 1976. It's a piano that we've sold before, has come back in, so it's not 100% perfect on the outside, but almost. And as you will have known, this is one of our favourite U3H. G, H, A and M are the ones that we were particularly looking for. And the Grotrin Steinberg, the old style, one of our favourite makes of piano, always has been, and plenty of videos on Grotrin Steinbergs because it's always been a piano that we've loved so much. This is a modern Grotrin Steinberg, so different from the other one, but still equally extremely high quality. This is a Bluether upright piano made in 1938, 110 centimetres tall. I have a longer video of this piano, so just briefly having a look at it. It's a beautiful instrument, very sweet tone. So Bluthers are generally gentle. So Bluthers are generally very gentle tone pianos. There are not too many uprights of this age. More Bluether uprights, old ones than say around about the 1900s, and they're overdampers, so they're very different pianos. This is like a modern piano, really. We certainly try to refine the touch and make it suitable for learning on and just for enjoyment, really. It has a beautiful touch. And those of you who are fans of Bluthers will know that they're particularly mellow sounding. This is a Klugenspiel West German upright piano, made in about 2002, 118 centimetres tall. It's a fine instrument in every detail, and we've obviously refined it as usual as well. So the casework is pretty much perfect, as it is on all our black pianos. And being a West German piano, it has a very refined touch indeed, very responsive and a beautiful tone. Extremely rich sound. If you're interested in the piano, please do write to info@robertspianos.com. Thank you for listening. And this is the mahogany Yamaha U1. I'm really pleased when we get non-black ones in, because there's so many are black, and there's a lot of people who do want non-black pianos nowadays. So that's, again, tremendous value for money. This is a Knight K10 made in 1976 and in excellent condition, very little used, and we do refine pianos as we've mentioned before, so we refine the touch and the tone as much as we can. Of course, fine tune it as well. This is a Knight walnut, beautiful wood, and again, if you look at the price, you'll find that it's always being reduced until it's sold. It's already an extreme bargain price, really. This is a Knight K10 1984. My colleague's tuning it at the moment, so it's just come in and it's being pitch raised and tuned, and then we'll refine the touch as we usually do as well. This is a Knight K10, one of our pianos that we're always trying to source. So tremendous piano in absolutely perfect condition and hardly used. This is a Fatsa upright. We actually haven't got any video of this, I don't think, because it's just come in literally yesterday, I think, or even this morning. Fatsa Finnish make, and it's a piano that we're always trying to source. It's one of the pianos that we source, apart from Knight and Welmar, we're always trying to source, but Fatsa is one of the pianos that we particularly like. So maybe I'll just spend a little bit longer on this. The characteristics are slightly out of tune, actually, but it's held its tuning well. They're always very stable, like Welmar and Knight. And what's very special is that the bass on these is surprising for the size of the piano. Sorry, I'm showing you inside the piano and you can't see anything happening. So I'm playing this. We haven't cleaned the piano or anything yet, so. Beautiful mellow sound. This is the Welmar upright. But Welmars are all excellent pianos. Of course, we have to choose them well, because plenty of Welmars that might be too worn, but we're choosing the ones that have hardly been used normally. This is a Welmar upright piano. Blutner's, if you look at nowadays, it's called Blutner, whereas Blutner and Welmar work together. So Blutner London is basically Welmar, same firm. So that's a quick look at the stock of pianos we currently have, and nearly every piano has been featured, not every piano, so please look on the stock list, there might be a few missing. I'm trying to encourage you to, if you want a piano installed by Christmas, then it's still time. The prices are being lowered every week, so if you come back to the stock list, you always see the prices lowered until the piano is sold. Thank you very much for listening. If you're interested in any of the pianos, please do write to info@robertspianos.com.